The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the host of the podcast are for entertainment and creating meaningful discussions and debates in today's society. It is not real, sometimes not factual, so we are not disrespecting anybody's views, opinions, or beliefs. Let's get into it.
And friends. Strum kid.
You know why.
Regulate.
Now, I don't want to say things and end up incriminating myself,
I-
all my friends, all my
no,
neighbors.
Okay, no,
But I think you guys get the idea.
Yeah,
You
let's-
get the
yeah, let's-
idea.
let's-
Yeah, it's not dark as heart. So basically, at the time when I grew up, kwakuseqala lento riots and whatnot, in the states of emergency, and so I was whisked away to go to Merrin Hill. So I went to St. Francis College. Hence then, maningbuza ndifuna iphi version yabo. Yeah, I went to a Catholic school, nuns and monks, and this is how I turned out.
Wow.
Yo.
Yeah, you would not think that about me, right?
Yeah,
No, that is
surprised
nice.
me.
Yeah,
That
that
surprised
was
me.
Yeah, we stayed in the monastery, yeah. No, they did not touch me. hey, listen. Hey. No one, hey.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, for
Well,
the record.
I'm out there like, yeah, I'm like,
It was a God-fearing school, and
Yes.
yeah, we know that every
Yes,
day.
I was an altar boy, but nothing happened.
Wait, this is such a contrast. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
This adds a lot of color to the story.
I didn't expect
Actually, I'll tell you what. This goes for many other guys that went to the same school. We all were different then, but we actually turned out different. All of us.
So this version of you now is very different.
So-
to
so-
Yes,
okay, if
we
you-
were all contained and boxed in, and
Oh,
obviously it was a school that was very high in academics, and we get like high achievers from all parts of the province. We get there, we start competing with each other, and that is where our sole focus is. So our personalities started springing out a tad bit later in life. But we've always had these personalities. The funny guy is still the funny guy today. The athletic guy is still the athletic guy today. Well, not so athletic because we're old now, but yeah, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The environment we were in was so different. It was conditioned. It was preconditioned.
Were there certain things as you were, for the lack of a better word, breaking out into the person you are, that were a bit tough, or that you had to either relearn, or you had to let go of, or that you struggled with as you were being molded to the person that you already are, or growing up into that?
Correct. First, it was the pressure of the legacy of the school and the guys that were there before us. They had gone to become big people, statesmen, basically.
Sure.
Prominent individuals in various disciplines and fields. And obviously, you try to tone yourself down a bit. And there's structure, there's rules, there's regulations, there's law.
Yeah.
And I got expelled by the way.
You?
But yeah, I will tell you the story later in the interview.
Oh, so I was kind of on the
Yeah,
right
but
track.
late.
Late.
Yeah, obvious.
But you say that kind of like growing up within a school that has that kind of a structure. Do you think it contributed towards who you are today, or how you
A lot.
operate in the real world?
A lot. And I'm grateful for many things. The one thing also that I struggle with today is I build rapport very easily with, no one plays ballroom waltz like me. I can step into any ballroom, sell anything, and within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I'll be able to develop rapport between anyone. But I struggle with females because much as it was a co-ed school, but we were, it's a separationist school, so we were separated.
Okay.
So we had a boys department, girls department, evening classes.
Do you meet during breaks or in the class?
No, they had their own quad, we had our own quad.
I got
I
fired. I
truly
didn't know
like it.
boys.
No,
It was only in standard 9 that we had a standard 9M. M for mixed. There was standard 7G, standard 7D, standard 7B. Okay, D for dames and G for girls, and B for boys. And only M class standard in standard 9.
Are you being for real with the
For
letters?
real.
God,
And
God.
wait, let me tell you,
Yo.
girls sat in the front. They took, I think, the first 4 rows, and we took the rest of the rows.
Oh, they gave you guys a view.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah.
Yo, this sounds like a
Interesting,
school that's not even
interesting.
based here.
Yeah, it really sounds so different to, I think, what we know.
It's a Catholic
Now, yeah.
environment. It's different.
Yeah,
But other than that, I had the background of the township also. Yeah, and also coming from Umlazi, we own the drum.
Is it?
You know, yeah, we own the drum.
Imagine now going back, when you're going back emlazi, there wasn't that thing of ukuthi Felix samazi, mhlawumbe Felix says ezangcono phela yena we boarding school kanjani.
Where some holidays engaqondani.
Yeah.
So kuvalile thina bayafunda bona. So I end up now being, that's how I ended up being Felix.
Elaborate.
Ngalezi khathi ubona igama lesikole negama lasekhaya yabo. So nguFelix Andile Sibonelo. But esikoleni nguFelix. Boarding school, everyone calls me Felix.
Sure.
So during holidays, I'm holiday to Akechana, yabo.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving with the same pack from school. And they introduced me to their friends and family as Felix. And Suekon some in Daonye, and they still introduce me as Felix. So now, after that, everyone knows me as Felix. I can't now say, hey, Padre Nguandi.
Igama lasesikoleni lelo. Hey,
Bro.
Hey.
Yeah, but I think it helped me a lot because you find someone that is book smart but not street smart, or someone that is totally detached from their own people, because boarding school is its own world. You know, it's like prison. Prison has its own world and feel to it. Most of phuma ngaphandle, like for instance, I struggled with people who are, for the longest time, with people who are conniving, calculating and backstabbing. I'd stuck because I mean, whatever you say, I take it as your word, and your word is your honor. You know.
Was that the principles that they taught in school and the principles you grew up with, or is that just your own personal thing?
I think it was too safe. It was a very cushioned environment, and we were brought up with the values of Catholicism. And we get there, you age 12, and you grow up together. And you same individuals in class. You're just moving to the next class, and we grow up together. And this is cool. It's not Leon. We find a song. Then when you get out there, and then the muntu ends into like how. Yeah, it was a baptismal of fire for me when people, if it's by low thing, low ends a low,
And now we try
ends a
it.
low, I for personal gain. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, sing grand.
Oh, now usuphakathi lapho.
Hayi
Lalela, boy.
Siyababona.
Yeah.
Hayi kuba ushaye hey.
Fool me once, nigga. Fool me once.
That's all it takes.
Do it
That's all it takes.
You ain't gonna do it again.
I said, now I'm with
That's
it.
what it takes.
Now I'm with
You
it.
said
now.
something,
Wow.
and you sped past it. You said it's easier for you to board rapport with males in the boardroom than it is with females.
Yeah.
Obviously, I guess the contribution is the separation.
The setup,
And
yeah.
cooling high schooling. Have you what have you found that has made it better over time?
It's actually made it worse. With the advent of social media.
Yeah.
Okay, firstly, let me explain this, because this for you might be very confusing. We grew up in a world where there's no cellular communication as a technology. There was no internet. And in computers, we didn't even have Windows. We had DOS.
Yeah, no choice. Yeah.
That's really
Windows 97. That's Windows 97.
So to answer your question, with the advent of social media, it's actually become worse, because obviously you need to be diplomatic and politically correct and sensitive. The world is just outraged about one thing or another. So you need to be, in this world, I'm in showbiz, so I can get cancelled at any point.
Isn't this whole cancelling thing out of fashion now?
Wow, bro.
Is it?
Inkinga, I don't think you can say that, because if I'm bethanda ukuthi I say vusa manje, bazoyivusa.
And it's usually women. You need to be careful around women. So leande vele ibuye ne anxiety. So I would rather separate myself. I'm more comfortable in a room with males than I am with females, because even if I joke a lot, I can joke around with a female colleague now and to say the same joke again next week Wednesday, but next week I'm going to report to HR for sexual harassment.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
Unguganje made a comment that had a sexual innuendo of sorts that I found offensive. And then I can get fired and cancelled. So I think, but also a lot of it happens in my head. Like Tina, siqala ukukhuluma isingisi ka-standard 6, yabo. Uqala nokufundiswa umlungu, mhlawumbe ufunda u7 uyaqala usathukile uthi umlungu.
Hey sir.
Leyo nto leyo iyahlala nathi. Iyahlala nathi where i-processing yakho happens firstly in Zulu, and then you reprocess it into English. And once it's in English, you have to process it now and filter certain things so that more kuluma. So in a normal conversation, I have a lot of ums and ahs where I'm setting, I'm going to the settings and editing everything before Ngikipa, because once YP Misa, you can't claim it back.
Yeah.
So I think now instead of having 3 layers, I now have 6 when I have females around, because you never know what to say.
On the other hand,
But in terms of like that, because now you have to be careful all the time.
Yeah.
How switched on do you have to be? Like every kid, because now it's almost like you're walking around eggshells.
Yeah.
With every conversation you're gonna have.
You know
with
what?
Everyone.
I'm sorry,
Like,
man. This conversation. I thought at first you were saying, I don't know you're saying that you're scared as in like to approach women.
Not really, but it's just I don't know how to interact with them, unless obviously they're the liberal ones and they drink, maybe we can enjoy a drink.
okay.
And then it says in that environment where right. But if it's just a group of females, yes, because if they want Felix, I can give them an act. I can tell jokes and play silly, because my brand is the village fool. So it's easy. But if you want to interact with Felix,
it's a whole different ball
it's
game
a different
now.
ball game, because like you're saying, it's sometimes as into like I'm sure you're still gonna get to the comedy part, but as to sharpen you without you realizing. So for instance, a simple thing I can answer it 3 or 4 times without realizing that I developed a skill in being afraid to speak, that I would reset and rechannel and reword and replay the one thing in conversation in real time. In my head, it's happening. But now when you find that in comedy, that is a skill that is now working for me. And I've become a wordsmith. You understand? And even guys I went to school with, I'll be like, dude, you weren't this sharp at school. How are you now? How are you suddenly now a wordsmith?
balance us.
And it's just being careful. Yeah, it's just being careful and trying to say appropriate all the time.
What I wanted to say, do you think the comedy side, and we're still going to get to that, but do you think the comedy side has helped you to get away with a lot of things? Because people say, you say what's on your mind.
Yeah.
And maybe you might not see it that way, but from my perspective, I feel like you can get away with a lot of things that you can't say. You can just...
I feel like you say certain things
How long
jokingly.
have you guys been studying me?
Revealing
my secrets,
man.
blowing up my spots. Why?
Because you would say something that we would love to see sort of, but we can't say it. But we know you can say it.
Yeah.
If there was a men's conference, you would be there on the
We'd
poster.
rather have him speak for us.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yes.
Can I just make one example? Especially those videos that whatever fits. When you do those videos, there are certain things you're like, that's actually true, but you know,
it's not everyone that can be able to say something like that. The world gives you a special license if you're a comedian, because they understand that you have a skewed and distorted view of the world. So they allow for you, because they want to siphon everything from your brain because of how you wound up and how you view the world, and how you're able to see comic gaps in everyday situations. So and comedy is a best vehicle for any message out there. So they do understand that you're different and you don't mean any malice. You're just being funny. If the joke, if maybe they find it sensitive, they might like, maybe I'd like the next one, just not this one. And then there's outrage society. Oh, what do you mean? You can say something like, I love bananas. Oh, what about oranges? Oh, you hate apples. Oh, you say apples must be killed. Oh, what can you say you love bananas and not say you love nunchies?
This is such a problem in society.
You can never be right, sometimes.
No, never.
Have you ever said something and it's not fully aligned with something that you would say personally, but it's something that you've, like, how can I word this question? Like, you know that it's a typical thing that people are thinking and saying, but you know you don't fully believe it.
I think you do that a lot because you have a lot of controversial views.
Are you supposed to ease those questions into the conversation? Like, you're so impatient. Yeah, you guys have been very easy with him, and let's go straight into it. So, how much of what you said you believe in?
It's not like how we start the show. Anything can happen, yeah.
No. Your answer is no. I say things I don't believe in because, one, I owe most of my being to the bigger brand. I'm a sub-brand of Kagasi FM. I stopped being Felix Hlophe. I became Felix Hlophe of Kagasi FM. So any pronouncements that I make have a direct bearing on my employer and my employer's brand. So I need to order my words very carefully. So I need to sometimes subscribe to a stance that my station or my brand has adopted. But I might not necessarily believe in that. You know what I mean? People would say nice things like, all kids are cute. Yeah, there's some ugly kids. And you've seen an ugly kid. You've been in a taxi where in front of you you're trying to eat an apple and this ugly kid
He's just staring at you.
Bro, people like to say things. Like, for instance, like if a beautiful woman dies, a yellow-born woman dies, there's hashtags. Let one ugly woman die. Bro, ubemenzeni bambula ufenge stupid bamnguma vethu ukuthi wenzeni lo ubewaxabule ngani.
You're supposed to ease us into the jokes. You see? We're not supposed to be laughing at that.
No hashtags, nothing. No one. I version TV if it's a band TV. I want to glue it. No hashtag. No yet. I'm next.
Yo.
This could have been me. We're not safe. You know? Sure, I'm going to try saying because if I never for
Come on.
So
That's easy
but
to
I can't say something like that, ever. I said in the podcast. and if someone finds it offensive, I can always say it was AI.
So now you're going to leave high school. What was your career in mind? And did you have any influence from home?
To tell you the truth, a lot happened. But I believe also in divine intervention. You can't spend that much time in a monastery and not think like that.
Yes,
like I said, I was expelled.
What happened?
Yes.
It's something so sensitive that I would like to put in a book one day because it could affect how people view me.
All right.
You have to
But
provide
it's something
context.
that later on, after everything was everything, the school called me back to say, now I need to be the ambassador of the school. But obviously we had parted on very bad terms to say, you changed my whole entire path and trajectory. I could have been a doctor. You know, guy sat behind me is a doctor. There's 3 doctors in my class. The one guy has been inducted into being a judge. Credom Lava. No, everyone is in my class. And most of these guys were C students, a few A students, and I should have been there alongside them.
You said you got expelled, brought back as an ambassador. That's
No, later on.
Later on now.
After I had found my path again. But I would have been today a doctor. I could have been anything that I wanted to be. Because, like I said, we were not just, we were St. Francis College, mates. We were 100% maths type, 100% science type.
Wow.
Throughout the year.
If you had spoken about anything about, for the lack of a better word, the creative industry. I mean, my context of creative industry is people who create. And that's a broad spectrum from, very broad. Was it a thing in that type of school?
Not quite. It was a very controlled environment, a very suffocating. You'd suffocate and die.
Sure.
We used to cross nights. Like I said, if you got 92, something wrong with you, man.
What?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Ah, man, I'll die.
I know.
I'll die.
No, 61.
Hey,
big
no,
old
no,
man.
no, 40.
It was one of the guys in the grade behind us recently performed brain surgery. He's a neurosurgeon.
He's a that is a big
He
deal.
performed a live brain surgery on a guy playing his guitar. Basil Enika. The guy was playing his guitar
I've seen
while
While
he was
Ben
operating.
Pepe's a can.
Yeah.
Do
That's how hectic.
that is
was.
a hectic skill.
yeah.
Neurosurgeons control
Nah.
their hands. That's how hectic it is. There's a neurosurgeon at the gym. The
Yeah.
guy buys special gloves to use at the gym because of how important their hands are.
You should stay away from the gym. You'll live. I'm here. I come from a long line of fat people, my family members. My aunt Georgina stayed for 78 years. Never set foot at the gym
At all.
My uncle sometimes, akaza ethi mina wesithudla naye washo semoto. But waphile ngaza ethi mina. Kuyaphileka
Why would
ngathi
you
mina.
put that?
You did that on purpose,
Yeah,
right?
but-
You did that on purpose. No, you
Such
did
a
that on
water,
purpose.
No, but you set me up. You mentioned gym. You mentioned gym.
No,
Uyakwazi ukuphila ungayithi mina.
that's not the one.
Like,
You know what we're talking about.
That one, run away.
We don't laugh about the car, but it's how you said
Well,
that was a setup.
kuyaphileka khona sethi mina.
Oh my God.
Okay.
How did what came first, the comedy or radio?
Comedy came first, then radio.
Is it?
Yeah.
Definitely know the
What was the or how did you get into comedy then?
It's a very funny story. Comedy found me. I'd always been a funny guy. Even in my dorm, people will be always sort of gravitate towards me for some weird reason. They will always come to my bed. That's when my storytelling ability started. Because I come from a very big family. You imagine dinner time in a big family, everyone fighting for their turn to speak. You have to come up with a really funny, interesting story for people to listen to you.
You need to buy your way.
And the funny thing is, yes, I might be a commercial comedian, but my family members are funnier than me. But I'm like, I don't care. I make more money than you.
That's it. That's the
You know, I hear this often with people that are highly skilled in a certain craft. Even with singers, musicians, etc., they always say,
Ekhaya,
you think I'm good.
Ekhaya bandha akasaphila ngeke survive mina. Nabasister ami ngeke survive.
It's tough.
Lele cost. Bande mangidayisa bese ngifika stage ngishaya ihlaya mhlawumbe iconcept ngithole kuyena but ubuke ethi
Hey, boy.
ihlala
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's a comedy found me. But to tell you the truth, I was working for Quest. And at the time I started working for Quest, I'd been unemployed for 3 years. So all my friends were starting to pop, buying first cars, getting good jobs. You were telling me.
Unemployed, whereas you didn't have it. Is this after university? Is this?
Yes, I didn't have a job. See, what happened then, a friend of mine was sebenza Metro Water through Quest. So what he said, what's kaisi vyakho banga ivayisa aba grand ngathola ama terms amancane kodwa ke ngithola ama reviews awushapa
Sure.
arabjitelo anemlethela and then they took me on to work permanently corner Quest. So at the time when I started, I was a regional incentive program coordinator, which is a function of HR. So basically doing performance appraisals, and we would take all the high performers and then send an event from all our sectors and divisions. So it's communications, we had telecom, we had Cell C, Vodacom, MTN. So in that sector, the top performer, about 3. Nanga like
Okay.
sector ka finance na top performer. Setlamo ka Sanlam, ka Standard Bank, naban ka finance, ka banking, yabo. So all of those people would then have a quarterly event. And I was in charge of this region, yabo. So I would then visit all these places, get some testing, get logs, and then basically at the end of the quarter would have a gala event, which is an award where we give them awards.
Okay.
And I would hire personalities, you know. So I would hire your Makosi Koza, anyone that was famous during that time. Babize. He was a sports personality, well, like TV. He was also a continuity presenter. Washiwe flight yak.
Oh.
So, angibaqashela khona la futhi khona la eDevon Osama khona indawo eharishisa ama tuxedo. So uthatha usize wakhe ngemharishela ituxedo bethi hleli angifonele ngabo 5 uthi ePanoy. And my boss then Catherine Herbst used to sit at Cape Town. So she had come especially for my events la. Usafutha amabheluni laphana ngale it was a helium machine le yakhona ufutha amabheluni everything is now imhlola yami iBadland le engiye kuyena ingamula le bese yona ngigayi chance angikano gibela iBhanoyi ngiqashwa laphana even things umchazela uthi say hey Catherine we have a bit of a situation which is sharp and it's face to uTsepa Mabona missed his flight face and then she said then the next words that came out of her mouth changed everything for me. Put me in this very seat I'm sitting on now. She said to me, Felix, this is your event. It's got nothing to do with me. When it was your idea. Was it? And you can fit into his suit. Those are the words that change everything. And you can fit into his suit.
Yeah.
I went out there, I wore that tuxedo, I went to the bar, 2 vodka shots. When I took the microphone. Yeah, but when they want to sit it, was about to start. Type of one is not coming. And my boss says, yeah, you can fit into his tux. And I bang a sharp at him, spin off so too. I took the microphone on stage. I got on stage. I was nervous. I started telling jokes, and people were just laughing. And I was like, I just grew comfortable. I was like, what? I started telling jokes, and I ran with the program. Wow. Now, the funny thing happened because we had all sectors. So now Standard Bank wants me to do their gala event. MTN, Standard Bank, that client. So I then became a corporate MC before I became a comedian.
Wow. Hey.
So when the comedy movement started, I think I only jumped on the 3rd event, but they invited me on the first one. I was like, no, I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm an MC. But no, but no, man, listen. You have to do this. Because there's a funny guy that comes to our work functions. He's Felix.
So other people saw you were a comedian before it hit you.
Yeah.
But even before that, what do you think your boss saw in you at that time? What interactions did she have with you to know that you are capable to do?
Or was she saying that? Or was she saying that, hey, I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, but I go on in the
Oh, is that what you said? So you understood, you stepped into...
That's how, okay, when you find a boss, they will throw you in the dip, or they will see you struggling and not help you. And then you find your way out of that sticky situation. And by doing that, they've empowered you without you realizing it. That you're not empowered, because if it's like spoon feed, yonke into, it's like ingane yakho. Ingane yakho when ibula lithwaye lakho, ungaphudla ufuna ulungisa fast. Ufuna uyiyekele. Otherwise, it's about my prince. That was about my prince. Like a single mother. Oh, my prince! Oh my God! What a beautiful painting. No, the painting is crap. Tell the child the truth. Because when the child gets out there in the real world, I expect to go to a participation trophy. What the? What? Bro, you lost. You're not getting a trophy because you lost. You were 7th. Only number 1, 2, and 3 will get trophies.
And the outside without the award.
To participate.
To put some interesting stats at that, there was a study done with 2 groups of kids. The one group of kids, the parents had to say, oh, well done, my child. You did so well. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And the other group of kids, the parents would have to say, that was a very good effort. And the study showed, Tuguti, all the kids that were told that was a very good effort, they went back, they worked at it, and they came out way better than the kids that were told, oh, that was perfect, that was beautiful. So,
But wherefore for comment ngani inyongo le. Inyongo le nto yenze. Ungaphindi futhi uyenze lento le. Umosha ama crowd la. Uyazabiza manje ama crowd ne preach la, ne stationery business la uzolokhuzela. Kunabantu beleko Ethiopia abafuna istation awuthi drawing le nto. Hamba uphale izinja, hamba watch izitsha lapha uthola hamba ulala emva.
Yeah, my crayon.
Yeah. Iyafunakala le nto le.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, I agree with you.
I agree.
100%.
So she was just telling you, Guti, you just need to make a plan.
Yeah, and I did, and the plan sent me on a new path. And you know, being an MC, I was comfortable being an MC. I became really good at it. It then led me to becoming a comedian. Bro, as a comedian, I'm sure you might have seen footage. If not, it's going to follow after this. I remember I was doing the Road Accident Fund, the year-end function, that afternoon. And that evening, I was actually set to perform at TLI. And I'd never seen my face on a poster. I'd never seen any of the other comics. Ngwabona khona imoto edlulayo phethe A-frame inesithombe sami. Hey ndoda, ngiyafika la ngiphuma ngikhumula isude ngiphuma RFM. Nejacket entombi yami engithengele yona phela ngazi ngigqoka ngiqala ngithi igqoka vile bengaka. That explains the video. Imoto emnyango futhi ngiyangena ngaphakathi. Yazi uma sebiza igama lami ngingena.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I ended up actually lento engicabanga ngisho ngomlomo, which is why I said those words. That was my first ever stand-up comedy performance. Mangena ngithi, "Hey, Cule Kanjela." Today, I can
That
go
line
to
was
Lamontville,
the most
Chesterfield. I can go
viral.
to his car with Mangfi Ingane, the little kids.
Yeah.
It just became a signature line. But
wow.
actually, I was so scared that I said those words. I didn't realize I said them out loud.
Oh, it was in your head.
Yes. Yeah, so now I'm trying, because obviously when, as an MC, I would do maybe a joke or two in between speakers. Yeah, but now I'm doing like 45 minutes of stand-up comedy. I need to structure my thoughts. I need to not forget. I need to remember everything. And everything has to follow a certain sequence.
Yeah.
And you know?
Yeah.
Bro, and Hlophe, we don't have vernacular comedy. So I don't have any reference. It's just the guys before me, and I'm here late, and I'm the penultimate act, you know. But then again, I was so confident. I knew, because obviously my family, I've always known I was funny. And this guy, I look at him, he's only just done 2 other shows before this one. And he's done stuff at DUT. Yeah, but you can tell they're kids. I was a bit grown. This is now 2004. Yeah, bro. 2 and 5. And I'm like, hey, bro, maybe it's not a good idea to have me as the penultimate act. Maybe I should be the last act. Yeah, bro. I was like, I know, he's going to headline. Okay, watch. I go in there. I get standing ovations between my performances for every break. Everyone is falling off their seats. I get there, I get a standing ovation. Finally, the final act comes on. He forgets all of his jokes. So that's how then I became Felix. I went straight to number 1. But I didn't realize that staying number 1 was hard. Getting to number 1 is easy, but staying number 1, mate.
Were you even in the mindset of being number 1 when you were doing that? Because I think, like you say, Nguti, becoming something, for the lack of a better word, that you weren't necessarily, you're preparing for 5 years now. I want to be number 1. Now you just ran into number 1.
Yeah.
What was the shift when you realized, oh no, now I have to stay this?
It's my first time. It's my first time
And
actually.
maintaining.
First time in my whole entire career in an interview. I'm like, I'm actually enjoying this. Because no one has ever asked me that.
Yeah, that's great.
No one has ever. Everyone just now is happy. Getting information about my comedy, how I do it, how I became this good. But no one has ever asked me if I really wanted to be this good. If I really wanted comedy, yes, I'm reliant on comedy. And every other opportunity that I've actually gotten, I've gotten through comedy. But I've been trying to get out of
Are you
comedy.
serious?
Oh, remember in 2009 I did The Last Dance with
Ah,
Felix? It was such a
yeah.
huge success. I then went on that long break.
You did go on a
Yeah.
long break. You did.
Bro, people would come, sponsors would come and say, please, can you be a part of this lineup? I'm like, I'm not a practice comedian. I'm done with this thing. Do you know why?
Why?
Only you have ever asked me this question. Now, being number one is nice when you're number one, but staying number one is hard because now no one wants to perform after you. That means for every act and every poster that you build on, you're always the last to perform. You're always headlining. So then it stops being fun. And it just becomes a ton of pressure every time. So when all the guys came on, I was happy when Trevor Noah came on. I could see that this guy's special.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
When CRB came on, I was happy. I can pass the baton. Now I don't have to be number
Sure,
last. I can
sure.
play number 3. I can play anywhere I want in the lineup. When Skumba came, I was happy.
Yes, yes.
I remember when Gumete, Thomas Gumete
Yes,
came on.
Thomas-
Thomas Gumete actually helped me become a better comedian because then we started competing because he was good. But he was good after I was relaxed and I was the main man. And then he came on. And suddenly there was a new sheriff in town. And I was like, who
Now-
fuck
now-
does this thing?
Yeah.
This is my time! Worship me!
I'm surprised he didn't do theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so
Why?
surprised he didn't do theater. You have the voice,
Yeah,
you have the personality.
Bro,
But
that guy
this is-
had me working hard. And then
Sure.
I'll be like, he doesn't know what's coming for him
Yeah.
today. And then he'll come.
Did that now make it fun?
So you guys
I was about to say that I
With
feel
that
like that's the
perspective
best
now.
way.
Yeah.
It was, he had my number. He had my number. That guy, because all the other guys were sleeping on the art. In terms of the facials, in terms of the acting, in terms
Sure.
of everything you say, you place it wherever you are. Say, for instance, if I'm starting a joke here and I stop here to focus on that guy and go back there and take a gulp of soap and come back, everything, I know what I'm doing. If I start to start it like this, I'm doing it so that I'm building the tension towards the big part. So everything, if I say, you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is, you're going to believe a word because no one ever believes anything that I say. In fact, my own mother did not believe, but I know you're going to believe this thing that I'm going to say.
Are we gonna believe?
But I'll say it anyway.
Okay.
But no one ever believes me.
All right.
I'll tell you what, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Brace yourself.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I say it. Can you see? I've grasped that.
The thing is the art.
Like
don't
that.
they?
Towards this
big-
one point.
Oh,
But
wow.
you don't know
Yeah.
this. You don't know this.
I was actually
man.
waiting to hear something.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Like that.
I was like,
Yeah.
we're about to find
Yeah.
the secret now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. I think about
Wow.
it when they look at comedy or just being on stage. You just rock up there, you just do your thing.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's a
So
skill
Thomas
that has to.
Thomas had my number, bro. He was doing it just like me. He bro, that guy was a marvel to watch. And each time after a comedy show, maybe we have the next leg in another town, I would want to maybe change my jokes. And I was like, okay, sure, I've got his number 2.
Yes,
And,
yes.
yeah, and then he just stumbled upon TV production. I've never in my whole life felt so abundant. I called him, I don't know how many times. He was friends with Lungi Lechadu and who's the other guy? Scoop.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Makati.
yes, they did
the
a lot
thing
of-
called Forever Young.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes,
I
yes,
remember.
He
yes,
tasted
yes,
the
yes,
money,
yes,
never
yes,
looked
yes.
back. He never came back to comedy.
Ah.
Eugene Causa had just left then. So I didn't have anyone at that point doing Venek comedy. There was a crowd favorite. And then we had Bos Kumba come and Bos Yapi. And then the game changed. That was how I was able to then slip and silently move away and focus on my career in broadcast.
Given the new context of where the comedy space is now, does it make you miss it more? Does it set some fire when you're sitting and you're watching and you're looking at, okay, this is a different season now?
Yeah. Okay, so my big comeback was in 2017. At that point in time, I only saw myself as a broadcaster. You know.
So you really just.
I left. I left.
No, you did. But I'm
Like, why?
you
Like,
did.
God,
But I'm
like,
saying
like,
inside of you, you were really made up. No, I'm focusing on
Bro,
Kenya.
if you convinced me enough to be part of your lineup and you said, come, I'll pay you your premium fee for 15 minutes, I'd be like, okay, I'll come.
Yeah.
And then I'd come and do it. But as soon as people saw my face on the poster, then they would come. Maybe sometimes we'd need a bigger venue even. But I was like, it gives the other chance. That's how the other guys got better. Because they were not living under Felix's shadow anymore. So they found their own feet and rhythm. Then they became who they... And then they started also putting together events and also opening doors for other comedians to come. You know? So I believe it somewhat opened many doors, and I could see people metamorphosizing into who they are today. You know, or maybe starting on the journey of who they still yet to become. But Galata's Kati, I was just dominating because I had so many stories, from my unemployed years to my failed relationships, to my aunts, to my like something I do on radio. I talk about. Sometimes I make up characters and people know them. Upo and the Iris. Like, how do I tell this person that? Yeah. So it's when I left, it honestly gave me a chance to become a broadcaster. Obviously, it's a skill that I cherished, that I used in my delivery as a broadcaster. But in comedy, ngangasayithandi because of the pressure. Ngangasayithandi because of the latter day society. It's insensitive. How can you say that about us? Like, okay, you want equality, you gay. You want us to treat you equal. Let's talk shit about you. Why are you so sacred that we can't say shit about you? If we talk shit about you, you say we're homophobic. No, we're not scared of you.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just making fun of you as a gay person.
Or as how you made fun of me. Or
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Why
or
can't we
anybody
make
else.
fun of
Yeah.
gay people?
Yeah.
Why can't we make fun of lesbians? They also have failed relationships. Just because you're lesbian doesn't mean you're not an asshole, or you don't suck, or I don't find certain things funny about you or your world, or because ushambe. Of course. And then people are sensitive. How can you say that? Like suddenly we can't make fun of fat people. Because it's body shaming.
Yeah, no, it's body
Yeah,
shaming.
We can't even make fun of ugly people.
Go back.
Hey, what the hell, eh?
Come on.
Come
Oh, man.
People are sensitive, so it's boring. Manje. And people want you to be clean and do the Trevor Noah type comedy.
Yeah.
What about the market of Abandaba resonates with my type of delivery?
Yeah.
So, but I'm happy now to answer your question. Sorry, man. I think I grew too comfortable.
That's what you want.
We're occupying.
No, but to tell you the truth, I stopped doing lineups because I'm a storyteller. You know, I'm the only guy in the country that stands for 2 hours with a laugh a minute, hard-punching comedy for 2 hours. You know, if guys do one-man shows, they do 1 hour. You know?
Yeah.
At most 75 minutes. You know, but I enjoyed myself. I started a new thing where I would theme a show, like my first comeback show, The Main Side Chick. I was just talking about that type of content for 2 hours. And then I did I Hate My Wife, and then I was just talking about my wife and the shenanigans in my house. But obviously that content people resonate with.
Yeah.
I was able to theme a show, you know, and just be able to stay with that type of comedy for the whole entire duration of the show.
Sure.
If you call me now to do as a feature in a 5 comic lineup, I find it very hard. But now I've fallen in love with comedy again.
Wow.
Yeah, I've fallen in love with hard punching now, quick stick, do it, pack up, next thing. Like if you were at the Suncoast show that we did 2 weeks ago, at the big dome, it was I enjoyed myself. I was playing with champions.
Sure.
I wasn't playing at the end, even though they tried to make me play at the end. I was like, no way.
So you're still not about that life.
Bro, I respect the audience so much. We charge people $250, $300 a pop to come and watch us talk. And if I see that the lineup is not that strong, I would ask for more time. Then I will play headline. But if I see that it's a champion lineup, I play number 3. Put the guys under a bit of pressure. and also just pack it up and leave and just have a good time on stage. But now I'm actually enjoying it.
But what qualifies you to be able to do like a one-man show? Because I remember years back, Trevor Noah, when he started doing like a one-man show, there was a lot of heat about him actually going out. They're like, who's this? We don't know you that much for you to actually now start doing your own 2-hour show. But as a comedian, what qualifies you to do a one-man show? Like a proper like DVD, what? Like, what qualifies?
But you just know it, mate. You know it. I will tell you things that I've done in comedy. I did a show at the Barnyard Theatre, Suncoast. But I was shooting Netflix in Joburg, and I left to take the plane to land here in Durban at 5:30 at King Shaka. And most show was starting at 8.
Sure.
So when I was still in a suit because I was playing the FBI. And then I get there, I have to walk. Like with audience. Ngizafaka suit ngiyoshintsha ngemove. And as in I think Professor just saw me. He just went and took the mic, started performing on stage. Now the show is sold out. I didn't have a chance to again consult with my set and see and get a good map in my head before I start. So I'm now getting changed and I go on stage. I do the 2-hour show. But I'm honestly just, I remember the big pillars. So how it works is you place a pillar here and another one. And maybe you say, okay, in this pillar, I've got 3 stories, but from the 3 stories, I want to have, say, 15 gags. And then you pack it up, and then you use a thread to segue into the next pillar of jokes that are not related to this one. But now this thread connects you so that there's an easy transition into the next thing. So that after the show, it seems like a whole seamless thing. But I've told you about my girlfriend, about my friend that I went to primary school with. I've told you about when Simon I got fired. I told you, but you didn't see me stop and then start. Stop and start. It's one seamless thing.
Who taught you that? Where do you study this?
It was at during the early times in my career, I could see that I have 20 jokes, but none of them are related. I tell this joke, I pick it up. My next gag has got nothing to do with what I was talking about before. And then I saw it in other people performing. I was like, okay, that's the difference between these people and myself. I would tell 5 gags, but I will move from that gag into the next one and place something here. Like, not a funny haha, but a funny type thing, leading me to this one. And then when I get here, I know I got my 3. I do my 3 and I move on to my next 3. And before you know it, I'm 30 minutes in. My name is Felix Hlophe. Thank you so much. You guys have been great. And I move out. You know what I mean? So that was the thing. The whole
trading, yes. Moving from one.
So that's important. That is the difference between a good comic. If you know, everyone knows a funny joke.
Sure.
If you know
100%.
15, are you a comedian?
100%.
If you know 15 good jokes, are you a comedian? No.
I don't know.
See, it's one is the commentary. You need to choose your subject. Sex. You need to have your own repertoire. Like, people should know that. Oh, this sounds like something Felix would say. This sounds like something Loiso would say. This sounds like for instance, musicians are easy to group because you find jazz musician, a quieter musician, a rap musician. But with us comedians, they just group us and put us in one basket.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And then I have to compete with Loiso Gola and Trevor Noah, who are satirists. Not even just any, they are political satirists, you know? And I don't talk about that shit. I talk about the township. Talk about white people. Talk about Indian people. I never talk about colored people. For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons?
Yeah, I don't have a very good medical aid, so I refrain totally from saying anything bad about colored people. Colored people believe in punishment.
Hey.
They believe in. They will punish you if you say something. They will punish you at the location of the offense.
At the location.
Right there, right
They
there.
don't wait. They don't wait.
No,
Yeah.
it's not, no, I'm still going to call so and so.
No, that wasn't.
Do you know what my racist white friend said to me about colored people? Stuart, if it doesn't fly, please delete it. He said to me, colored people used to be so smart when we used to make them. Now that they're making each other. I'm joking. That's a bad joke. Please don't play the joke.
No.
Oh, it's not even my joke. It's Stuart. Hey, it was Stuart. It's not even my joke. It was my racist white friend. He passed away. May his soul rest in peace.
I'm not gonna make it home. You let.
I condemn him for telling a racist joke.
It wasn't me. I'm just here. I'm not gonna make it home. Oh, man. Yeah, it's you, it's it. You are tuning that thing, man. You are tuning that thing. Come here and say, where is
Away.
Oh man.
Sure.
Yo, Felix, and then obviously any Tumenga is your pranks, man. Like that went crazy.
Yeah.
That went crazy. Everyone has them on their phone still till today. People still listen to it.
I've gotten into a taxi
Yeah,
that had a CD. My pranks. I'm like, yo,
That's
do you
crazy,
understand
bro.
people made piracy
Yeah.
of your pranks?
Literally.
Bro,
Do
it's
they not
crazy.
recognize your voice though? Cause like, it feels like you just keep sound like you just keep caught in it. Like,
At some point they did. Oh,
Okay.
but yeah, I stopped when it became dangerous.
It became dangerous.
Yeah.
how?
Because I enjoy my drink. Yeah, and sometimes when I've had a few too many, I
And you
would
were
get
out there.
ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
you know?
Wow,
Okay,
Yeah.
what did you think of?
And it's nice being a broadcaster. You're sitting in top of the world.
Sure.
You're doing your thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know, every guy wants to be like you, and every girl wants to be with you. You're the guy. Your pranks are super funny. You know, you're blowing the internet, and you get a stupid idea the one time, and suddenly your life is at risk.
The one time.
I want to know what
It
you
was a
did.
traumatizing experience. So this one time, I posed as an out of work assassin in Kabe, basically, and then.
I said, look,
Hey.
that idea alone. I
Yo.
think-
I know. that.
Who was with you when you thought of this?
Linda, basically. We formed a taxi association.
Yo.
I posed as an assassin looking for work, and they said, "Yeah, we actually have work for you. When can you?" And I was like, "Hey, guys, no, this is we're at the radio station."
That's hectic.
I'm joking. What joke I know? Faith, they started coming to SABC Faith outside. My bro, I've never feared for my life.
I
I
guess.
love it. Bro, and then they said, SABC, in fact, they threw me under the bus. Like, okay, so as in, this cannot be happening here. Please, can you go? And then we went to the city
Hi.
lodge.
I came from my I went to that
You think you're in the same place, but
Hey, we tried explaining to the guys, no, guys, it was not broadcast. We were recording it to broadcast it later after we had edited, so we deleted it. But let Allah no, see, delete it on the computer. Or you know the computer is Makai, my world became this small.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's time. I told normal, regular jokes like any other guy out there. The funny guy. The guy. My first prankster ever before I introduced it to vernacular stations was work at Simpson. He never got into trouble. It was a white prankster. Yeah. He never got into trouble.
Never.
Yeah, white people are calm.
I think you're extreme. You're too extreme. That's another thing.
Bro. Yes. Hey,
Yeah,
bitch.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, I know.
I've never thought of like get that far.
That's what I was about to
That's
ask.
what
That
problems
says,
are
is there a joke? Is there a prank that never made it? Is that the one
No,
that never made it?
there's one way we blew up this lady's house.
What do you mean
What do
blew
you
up?
mean? You need to give us context. You can't get your words out there.
Mfonele, so someone one man ma la okay. Oh, there was a time when there were a lot of ATM bombing.
Oh, yeah.
So we then put in my sound effects about helicopter and there's crowd control and sirens in the background. So it's like last center and these boys, they had this explosive device trying to bomb ATM. So they left this thing, but they're still at large, but we're looking for them and everything's background. Zipping and safe. You can save tick tick. Sugan la and screams. Fanwami. Ma. Ma. Una insurance ma. Insurance one. Face, bro. And then the joke was on me. So we said, Ma. She collapsed.
Oh, no.
And then the girl touched the phone. I go, yeah, Fred, over look my. Face.
Oh my God.
Face try sheer luck. This guy gets go Felix. I told Alex and Fall. So when lo mama lo ebuya as a SABC, what's first to tell Alex. Engifike mina ngisafethu athi Alex so inenzile lo mama if it is ilosuthe ngakanani but no you make the mistake mama I'm Felix Alex usegagasi emhlanga lapha oh ngiyabonga mntanami yahamba nethimba lakhe baye egagasi mefike egagasi so yeah Alex athi awu Felix usokhozile ngeke ngidayi ma Alex noma Felix nawo naye lo yenza ngeke ngasenge ngima usuthi thina msenzeni thina komphule wena uthe wena Alex sasinda kanjalo
Yeah.
but I did the same I still same prank when you iphoyisa lakhona ka W the guy loves you
Yo.
yeah
Man, I wish that one made it.
no, but the other one did with a different subject. It did.
Is it?
Yeah, we had a different subject and it did. But la mama Luana was like, I want to talent. Hey, there was a time, Eleni time and fair too. Eleni time broke. He got so mad. Ngimfonela ngimthethe kusenge ne HIV but come on yabo. Umgqibelo sizolobola lapha ingane yakhe was only 16 years. 16 so lobola ingane yakhe na 16. Efile mthitha mfethu. Adubana mfethu. Wena uke bathi so kodwa kahle umgqibelo sesibhedlela lapha nakhona iambiance we've created it.
Yo. That
Bro,
is,
we used to shock people every day.
that is so crazy.
And then the show just grew exponentially. Like a wildfire, bro. Not basically planning on this. I made coin from that thing. Thank you, Father. But at the time when we just happened upon it. We literally just happened upon that thing.
Yo.
You know what?
Dope though, like it was funny.
Nah,
It
man.
is.
Yeah.
I feel like what I'm getting from this entire conversation is that you use your God-given talent so much that it looks like you stumble upon things, but it's because of how much you invest into your expression of it.
I suppose. But thank you for that, man. I'll buy you a drink.
Because I think all of us have some form of talent or gift, but we maybe use 20% to 30% of it. But without you realizing, figuring out, hey, how far can I take this and how far can I take this? It's an expression that allows you to operate at that 80, 90, 100% level, that it looks like you're stumbling upon things, but it's merely just a manifestation of how much you exercise the gift you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart one.
Yeah, very.
I'll take turns.
Leave on, I
He's that guy.
He's with it. I can listen to this guy. Okay. What else have you picked up about me? Tell me some more nice things.
No, seriously, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I think sometimes we pay so much, unfortunately, or maybe just because of how the world is shaped, to look at athletes, and because they put a lot of physical, should I say, work into what they do, they obviously most of the time get most of the accolades, and it's like, yeah, you ran so and you literally sounded like an athlete in what you're doing. For you to say it wasn't fun for you to be number one. It wasn't. You didn't know what it took to be number one. After this happened, this is how you invest into your skill. The way you articulate it, you would say, okay, now you have to look at your pillars, you have to look at your storylines. How do you place this? Then you realize, you could say, no, you are an athlete, but just in another form of how you do things.
You need to have a formula, because otherwise, if you don't have a formula, then you don't know what to attribute your success to. That means now you can't repeat it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, which is why at that time I was balancing two careers, one in obviously performance arts, and another one in broadcast. So, if I didn't know how I was successful here, I wasn't going to be able to emulate it in my other career and achieve the same success.
Yeah.
So you need to have a formula. You need to know how things work first. For you, how did I get here? Can I still retrace my steps? Can I now make a blueprint out of the steps that I took to get me here? So that in my next thing, I won't have to travel the whole entire route. You know? So the route to success might be the same, but I can achieve those three things in my first block. Do you understand? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a topic that you guys had. I think it was like maybe last week or so, being the last to bloom. It felt like for you it was very sensitive.
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Because, like I said, of something that I'm wanting to put in the book of what happened and where I was headed. And then that thing happened, and then it changed everything for me. But my friends continued on the path. So when they achieved all of those things, and I hadn't figured myself, I didn't think that I could make a living out of the arts. You know, it was just something that I could do, but something that I didn't think was going to catapult me into, or even overtake some of them that had taken the traditional route, you know? So once I then realized that, wait a minute, actually, you know, because my one thing was I wanted to do the English presentation type comedy. I was like, okay, I see Vinek, yeah, I'm good at it, because the humor is different. But I was like, we gave this guy an opportunity. We gave him an opportunity. We hyped him. We gave him platforms. He went on to become like the biggest comedian ever, Trevor Noah. You know? I remember the one time I was so mad. Monte Casino, Joburg. We riding a golf cart, and Trevor and I are facing, so it's a mover, backwards.
Yes.
And then Uloy, no Eugene, babhenga phambili, no Kagiso. So, and then this whole time, Saka, bro, I told you, mina ngifundele lokishini, qala ukufundiswa abelungu, funda khona kufunda nodaki.
Yeah.
But it's fundiswa abelungu late in life, yabo. So I don't have a good command of the English language. I have to think in Zulu and speak in English. So I'm speaking my best English with this guy. Then this guy is like, hey, guys, can you realize everyone is waiting for us there? They bought tickets just to listen to us, and we're here playing cards. Siyadlala nje, but semsebenzini basayidlalela. Engambuka letho ngathi, Trevor, mfethu ukwazi ukukhuluma isiZulu, bro. What yeah, indawo kathi sonke lesikhathi ngikhuluma isiNgisi ngikhuluma isiZulu mfethu. Bro, when we first met Trevor, we were doing the 99% Zulu. He was the 1%.
How?
Because he couldn't speak. We didn't know he could speak Zulu and Xhosa and Sotho.
Yeah, ne.
Ngenhlanhla nje zange sisho lutho about him in Zulu. Bro, so Fethu, you understand that ukuthi Fethu sonke leso sikhathi leso mina ngifuna ukwenza the English press because I want to blow up like I've seen this come up. Yabo. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to do this thing in English so that I can go overseas, so I can go. And then my then girlfriend said, Lalela, this is Africa, my guy. You are in Africa, you in KZN, KwaZulu, you Anguni. That means three-quarters of this country speak
Yeah.
and understand. Even in parts where Zulu is not spoken, they still understand it
Yeah.
because of our influence. Ne? Stay with this thing. Your clients, government, municipalities, and everyone that wants to consume Vinek.
Sure.
You go there, you leave your markets where you're king. You go there, you compete with other kings. Stay here, hone your trust, become the best. And I stayed. So everyone wants to go back. I remember when
Yeah.
Inspire first came out, I auditioned alongside Celeste.
Mm.
I didn't get the part. But you know, the funny thing is the guy that got the part, after Inspire started, I was like, this guy, I wasn't going to pull it off like this guy. The funny thing is, as I'm telling you this story, I'm thinking of another story. That's how Hlophe was born. Hlophe, my alter ego, was born in preparation for that role. So I had to learn the thick Northern KZN Zulu accent. To be able, because at that time Inspire didn't exist. It only existed in script. So but okay, so kanje. So man, I'm thinking, okay. So now I end up speaking like that. People don't realize I'm actually preparing for a role. Yabo. So mina mangihlangana nomuntu, hey guys, lana we guys, la sengikhuluma ngalandlela nje, yabo. Bethu tawugede, yabo. Hey, I developed this accent. I'm like now enjoying it because everyone is laughing. Everyone mangifika again is like how Felix wena face got do hong usukhuluma like a hostel dweller. And I'm enjoying myself, bro. Whoa. Hey face. And then I didn't get the part. Celeste got the part as one of the wives. Ne? So mina ngizoba umfobo in fact, it was a closed audition, so we got invited to audition, and they told us a story. You can be anyone in the story. You can be a mayor, you can be a crook, you can be a gun, you can be anything. Taxi operator, anything. Yabo. So I'm going to be brother of Iloku's antagonist. Yeah, Zungu. So, hey, bro, I didn't get the part, and then there was the Royalty Soapy Awards. I was the MC at the launch. So I do my thing. Imagine they get an industry outsider to launch this thing. Now we have all the actors from different soapies, different sitcoms, but I'm the one hosting it. So I start doing my thing, bro. It was at Zimbabwe. Fairmont. It was Fairmont then. In fact, I set the tone with just 15 minutes of stand-up before I start the program. I do the program between speakers, I'm doing jokes, but I'm holding it tight. By the time, Giti, ladies and gentlemen, your dinner is now served. As in the stage, who owns Bomb, the white guy, Umeleza, and said, Felix, pack your bags, go. Let's go. You're going to Joburg. I'm going to find a part for you with Spire.
Imagine.
Bro, lapho fethu, I'd signed my contract with Ivuma as a breakfast show host. And I tell my big brother, my big brother is a very solutions-driven guy, but his solutions, you need to take them with a pinch of salt, because he's too calm and he doesn't smoke. Listen, according to my knowledge, he doesn't smoke. According to my knowledge, and he says to me, so you want to go to Joburg, and you're gonna start in this thing called Inspire, and you don't know what role they're gonna make a role for you, versus you've just signed as a breakfast show host of a radio station. Will you get shot as a breakfast show host? I was like, no. At La Pan, anything you get shot and die. What's right now? Hambe emsakazweni lapho iradio lapho ayeke ubulawa umuntu lapho. La you might not make to season 3. Yeah. And that's how I decided, hey, as it was, okay, maybe let me stay. I had to disappoint this guy and tell him, hey, bro, I can't, because now I've accepted this contract in radio. I'll be starting soon. Hectic.
One of the things I also find very interesting, I always say we have friends in Cape Town, Joburg. The three of us grew up in more of a dance-orientated background. We traveled the country, dancing, teaching workshops. We started making DVDs and merch while we were still in high school growing up. And that's what
this is ballroom, right?
Ha 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 ha. No.
This is
Like crumping,
this is
crumping.
crap.
Ow, shark on the pen.
Okay.
Yeah, no, ubona.
Because it involves certain movements that I think with our body type. I'm not saying no.
Even now you can do it. Just know
Yeah.
that anybody can do it.
Okay.
Even now you can do it.
Yeah, it's supported. It's supported.
I'd rather not, but thank you for the faith and believing in me. Thank you so much.
We do.
Thank you.
But what we noticed is when we got to Cape Town, most of the guys there, because of the industry, their uncles and their aunts already made a living through things that are creative. Same thing.
Yeah.
Travel to Joburg. And I think one of the lovely things we love about your journey is that you are able to show us, Uguti, you can actually make a living out of being a creative. Because in KZN, besides music, it was very hard to pinpoint a lot of other industries where people could actually truly make a living and showcase
Yeah.
this is possible. So I think for us, it's almost like you were a first generation pioneer to show us what's possible in KZN.
And
see
yeah,
the rest of the
I was supposed to
country.
say that, especially based here, because
Yeah.
it's so hard. Being based in Etepeni, a lot of times you gotta look out, or someone is here and they're leaving,
And they leave.
and you're looking out again. But it's so great to see you move. The way you here, you're based here, but the way you're moving, it's like the country is like your home. Like uvele uthi.
Everything is also fluid, and you need to understand one thing. I learned this much later in my career that you need a team of individuals to be a success. You need people to put you in spaces. Any business is as good as its owner and the network of the owner. If that person invites a partner, suddenly the business itself is good as two minds, two networks. You know. So, like for instance, one of you knows Nerissa, who then knows me. So if it was just the two of you, and in both your networks, Nerissa was not in the radar. It would not have been able to get Felix. Do you understand? Or maybe now that I'm in your network, now I'm able to say, who is in your wish list? I can get them for you. You know what I mean? Who do you want? I can get them for you here. Type thing. So your success yako igu network yako. Your network is your net worth. Yeah, bro? So staying here has made sure that my footprint and my roots are family planted in this province. So I can do IFP municipality, IFP-led municipality in Kandla. And I can do an ANC, EFF, DA. It's got nothing to do with politics. It's got to do with my constituents. They are there and there and there. And across the political divide, across the race divide, the age divide, the education divide, nothing can withhold the power of Brand Felix. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you're in Joburg, you want me. Okay, sure. If I have a gap, I'll go there. Because it's, 45 minutes away. But staying in this province has blessed me. Because every time someone, like last month, I finally got my TV reality show. Yeah. Wait. But this week also I got invited into another reality show of what? KZN-based personalities.
Sure.
So now they're going to be running parallel. Do you understand? And we've only just seen that once with, I think, Umsele. Tandon as Tembu and Mnagwech, I think. And both are his. Do you understand? So if you throw enough mud on the wall, some is bound to stick. If you leave, my guy, wena indawo yakho la ene stronghold yakho ngoba ujaheleya mofika lapha uyoqala enye into nabantu abane stronghold uyibona ba rule that particular kingdom, but you'd rather stay here and make sure ukuthi okay, maybe I'll leave a nugget here. They say the grass is not green on the other side. The grass is green where you water it.
Yeah.
So if you water your own garden, then it becomes green also. So that is exactly what I did. So I'm going to put together premium shows, super premium shows this province. I'm going to invite the acts from Durban to come here. We're going to build a culture of comedy here. We're going to discover new talent. We're going to put them here. We're going to turn them into becoming number one, you know, whilst they're here. So that means now on the 12th of December, if I get a call and people asking me to host a certain year-end function and I can't because I'm booked on that day in Port Shepstone, I can say, I can point you in the direction of someone that might be able to assist you. And now we're growing the industry together.
That's
I
amazing,
love what
man.
you just said. They always say first-time business owners focus on the product, second-time business owners focus on the platform, and third-time business owners focus on the ecosystem. And you are building an ecosystem.
Wine in ningabi nje.
Ngeke sonke sibe nje.
Okay, wine in a.
Ngeke sonke sibe nje.
But
You're creating an
nakona.
ecosystem
Yeah.
in the place that we live in, because now you are, one, upskilling, and secondly, you are creating a platform where if you are not available, you are not, for the lack of a better word, duplicated to say that there are other
100%.
skilled
Yeah.
people
100%.
that are able to handle what you're doing. That's
I should build an ecosystem of plus size people. Fat boys of the world unite! Ilalela face! Yes, sir! Big boys worldwide!
Big boys.
Yes, sir! It's BBW, baby!
Okay, wait. I'm gonna lose all of that, man.
See, Hlophe! See, Hlophe!
Wait.
Even the Rugby World Cup was won by big boys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sinitwele, sinimele bafethu.
We united the country.
You know what I mean?
We united the country.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Yo, guys, we've been going, man, and
We did say we're going to have more of these. Men have so
yeah.
many things.
I feel like we can go forever. There's so many things that we want to talk about, but like I said, we really want to bring you back as well.
Awesome.
This is called And Friends Podcast. So when we saw Lana, we consider you a big brother and a friend as well. So we definitely would love to have you again and dive more into other conversations. I think today was more about just finding out about you and your background.
Yeah.
And that
Even Hlophe,
Usani-
there's still so many others.
but
We didn't get to ask everything.
yeah.
Listen to me. We're going to open it up. We're going to talk about slay queens. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about the champagne life. We're going to talk about all of these things.
That's exactly what we
Lalela, boy.
Mention this. There's one thing you said about champagne I will never forget.
Yeah.
You said that if you're in a club and you buy champagne, you look at how the girls sip it.
Yeah.
If any one of them sips it and they make this face,
Yeah.
you know they're not used to
Oh,
it.
let's on the savannah. Hey, futhi mnikeni isitawudi lo mnikeni isitawudi ubiphelani bephuza. No, but it's going to be nice. Like, for instance, I'm very loud and opinionated. I'm opinionated in a whole variety of subjects. And there's things that, like, I will tell you one thing. I am super impressed with you guys. One, of your friendship and how you decided through your friendship and different, you're going to come up with this.
Yeah.
Okay. So you find that your parents are my age, you know, and they struggle. They're struggling with their careers, being parents to teenagers and young adults. They've never been, your parents has never been a parent to a person this old. Every time you grow now, it's the first time for them. And you guys are left to your own devices to try and make sense of the world. See, now, we made sense of the world before the internet. We made sense of the world with internet. Now with cellular communication, now with social media, now with this, now with global citizens, there are literally no borders. And it's a continuous circle of learning and unlearning and relearning and unlearning and learning. And also now you guys are saying you got the technology, but you might not have the right guidance socially. So that is what, if you say you want me to be big brother, I'll happily come here and we can chop it up about dating a woman with a child, about lobola, about culture, about tradition, how it's so features and type thing. So I open myself to such conversations, with you guys. I know we're going to break the internet with the conversation because obviously you guys have good heads over your shoulders. You're smart. I'm controversial.
Yeah.
But people like my comedy, so.
It works hand in hand.
Yeah, but I'd actually love to come and have such conversations. I like how you unpacked me. No one has ever unpacked me this way. It's always a structured interview where I have to answer in the most diplomatic type way and make sure I don't say the wrong thing. La later, boy.
And I'm just happy with Otianga Luto food to listen now.
Yeah. Could have worked, but next time, we all know.
We hear you.
Yeah, we all know.
We hear you.
Nah, man, guys, shout out. Thank you so much, Felix. We'll be back again.
We'll be back. Quick one. In the comment section, please let us know what you. So just some things you'd like to hear from Felix.
Yeah, because boy.
Yeah, booyah. And we know you guys. The nice thing about your brand is that you get to say the things that we can't say.
Yeah. So now we're going to contribute.
We want to probe. We need to probe and ask the right questions. But for the month of December, for upcoming year, what can people be on the lookout for? You mentioned the book a couple of times, and now I am so enticed.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'd like to quote the words of a very wise man who once said to me, shit.
It's gone.
No.
Next time when I come back.
Thank you so much.
And Friends Podcast. Felix Hlophe on all social media platforms. Catch him on your radio stations all day, every day, toys of Yo, I'm going to six-pack, man. After this, I'm going to six-pack.